Hey, friends out there, this is Thursday, October 13th, 2022, and it's just about exactly 6:30 in the morning here in Northern California. I slept in. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't think I've been getting enough sleep. I'm starting to see some bags under my eyes. That's kind of a new thing. But at my age, the older I get, the more excited I get. It's life is a precious thing. It's nice to be alive. Life's good, right? I was just thinking this morning about what the most important thing I can convey to anybody and everybody, whoever, is their importance. To know that we all have a lot of similar feelings, like sometimes we feel lonely and isolated. It's very important for us to know that we've always got a loving father, a loving mother looking after us, an all powerful, perfect. Perfect in the sense that there's no possible way any human being could ever imagine how good God is. You can never imagine a better God, okay? For the sake of argument, we all believe in God, let's say. An atheist takes a leap and says, yeah, okay, let's say there's a God. Well, at least in your mind, consider it to be as good as the best set of parents. It's really very important, and understanding how precious you are to your parents. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're a clone baby or whatever the case may be. You still got loving people in your life, and we all have the prerogative to act like a parent to everyone else. It's each and every one of our prerogative to be every man's friend, to have no enemies. Even though other people choose to be our enemy, we don't have the right to say they have free will choice just like us. And all we can do is exercise our free will choice and be on everyone's side. And to be quite honest, the only way we can do that is with the power of God. I'm just as human as anybody else, believe me. Believe me. I've been known to act violently, and the older I get, the more removed I am from that. It's just I hate violence. There's certain things we can know for sure about the character of God. God, our parents do not want us to be violent toward each other. And the violence can come in the thoughts. It starts in our thoughts, and then it comes out our mouths. And the spirit thereof is provocative. It's instigative, and it's incendiary, and it causes division and strife and misery and all those things. So we can only be on one side or the other, okay, in this matter. We could be two kinds of makers through life. We could be a peacemaker, or we could be a troublemaker. And the choice is nobody's but our own. We could choose to be every man's friend. That's it. Doesn't matter if they hate you. You got to say, well, I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. It's unreasonable. It's not fair. I don't like it. But what can you do? What can we do? So anyhow, the most important thing I could do is let people know that they are God's precious treasure. Okay, just like a parent feels about their kids. Okay, and anything your kids experience, every parent knows you're experiencing on some level too. Okay, we're very special creatures here on earth, very cosmic creatures. We're unlike any of the other creatures. We do not live merely by instinct. We've been given this thing called free will choice, and this imagination that blows all the imaginations of all the other creatures out of the water, our power of thought. That's our godlike nature, made in the image and likeness of God, the Bible. I got nothing. If I couldn't explain to people, why all the bad things happen on earth, okay, why it's allowed, if supposedly there's this all-powerful, all-loving, all-competent God in charge, why? Well, I mean, at least get rid of the natural disasters and the heat and the thorns on the roses and the bitter cold and the insects that can kill us and other predators that can kill us and all the harm. I mean, why does gravity have to be so harsh that it's lethal? I mean, this is a power of imagination. Whatever we can imagine, we can manifest. We've shown that over and over as human beings. Every stitch of technology, every bit of infrastructure, all the skyscrapers, everything came because we've got a brain, a gift from God, the power of thought and imagination. So if we can imagine a perfect world down to the smallest detail, and only dishonest people would disagree with that, because we indeed can, then it's within our reach. And only evil men are keeping us, troublemakers who do not want problems solved. Their relevance revolves around problems in society persisting. And the name of the game is division. They keep us thinking that it's us on some level. It's the Democrats in your town, or it's the Republicans in your town. It's the liberals, or it's the conservatives. It's the reds. It's the blues. It's the it's the conservatives, and it's the socialists and capitalists. Something. Just keep us divided, so we're overwhelmed, because our enemies are everywhere. People that disagree with the way we think, and of course, we think the right way. I mean, what person doesn't think their way of thinking isn't the right way? We all do. And it is, if we're tapping into the Spirit of God and the Spirit of truth. But then what's more importantly than being right is being loving. You understand? Loving. Love your enemies. Love those and really care about them like you would care about your own kids. Even if you don't have kids, you can imagine what it'd be like. Okay? Anybody can imagine what it'd be like. And you want the best for them. You don't want anything bad for them ever. Only good. And you don't want them having enemies. At least you want them to know it's their choice, whether they have enemies or not. They can't choose for somebody else, whether they choose to be your enemy. But all I've got is the original sin, the fall of man. See, we shouldn't even be able to comprehend what sin means. We should know we're naked. We should be as oblivious as all the other creatures. None of the other creatures know what sin means. They have no idea. What about nakedness? What are you talking about? We'd be just like that. Why aren't we? Far more intelligent, but far less mature. War? What is that? Animals don't behave like that. Oh, we're going to wipe you out. We're going to eradicate you if you don't succumb to our way of thinking, our way of believing, our values. God, we're sick. We've acquiesced. We've capitulated as a species to a lot of evil. And we got to admit it. We're way down this demonic rabbit hole toward hell a long way, and only God can help us. So it's time to understand our origins, man. When God was sorry that whatever we did when we ate that fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, it screwed everything up. Women's childbearing pains, men's difficulty in earning a buck, which would be just your daily bread, would have been easy. Like kids playing. I mean, what would you want? Let's put yourself in God's position. What do you want?